Written off as underdogs and predicted to finish in 19th position in the Premier League this season, we have gone above and beyond what was expected of us. And yes, we did. We won a trophy in our very first season. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to the Vicarage Road in Watford. And it has been a great season, despite being a season filled with horrific injury crises and also a lot of whinging, unhappy players. We had to turn all those things around. We have, and we have surpassed in the end all expectations. We were predicted to finish in 19th. We have reached the giddy heights of 9th at present. And yes, we did. We won the Carabao Cup final. We won a trophy in our first season. And you will remember that we had beaten Manchester United by 2-1 on aggregate over the two legs in the semi-final. That set us up with the final against their near neighbours, Manchester City. And I was never optimistic that we were going to win this game, but we did. And in a game that we dominated, it never really looked like we were going to lose. And early in the second half, a quick free kick was headed in at the back post by Dennis, and we were on the way, 1-0 up. And we never looked like losing it, in all fairness, but late in the game, Manchester City had a breakaway, and Oteba made it 1-1, and it had to go to extra time. And in extra time, nothing really happened, and it went to penalties. And Manchester City were to take the last penalty. And unfortunately for Manchester City, I think it was either a great save or it hit the bar and cannoned into the crowd, and we had won the Carabao Cup. In our first season, we had beaten Manchester United in the semi-final and now Manchester City in the final. And this was a remarkable achievement by this group of players who were totally written off by the pundits. And so we had won the Carabao Cup, something I was not expecting to do, but an absolutely remarkable performance. And in the Premier League, we have matched that, and we have we have achieved 9th position at the moment. There are 37 games gone, and we have 53 points, and we have already qualified, of course, for Europe by beating Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final, and we have every chance of finishing in the top 10 after the final games have been played. West Ham will have a tough game at home to Arsenal, and Southampton are playing away at Manchester United, while we will play Brentford at home. And we have every chance of finishing in the top 10. What a great season that will have been. We were predicted to finish 19th, and we have surpassed that by a long way, finishing at hopefully 10 places above where we were predicted to finish. And tactically, the decision to go to a 4-3-3 was absolutely superb in the end. And we have tweaked it a little bit, and we have been very, very successful playing with this 4-3-3. We have put the fullbacks on an automatic duty, and we have changed the ball-winning midfielder to a central midfielder on attack, and this seems to have worked, as well as pushing the lines up a little bit higher. We were playing better with the higher lines. So the tactic, we've adapted a little bit, we've tweaked it a little bit over the course of the season, and it has served us well, and they've played very, very well in this formation. We do have some players, some issues, some players who don't like playing with each other. Suzuki doesn't like actually playing with anybody. We do have issues that we need to solve during the summer transfer window. But if we look at the data hub, and in terms of our performance overall, our defensive work is fabulous, but we are only about average in terms of attacking. And if we look at the attacking stats, we can see where the problems are. Our cross completion is very, very poor, and we'll have to address that in the summer. And our expected goals per game is only 1.43, goals per game 1.32. This is telling me that we are not being creative enough, that we're not making enough chances for the forwards, and when we are, the shots on target ratio is very, very low, and it is at the moment only 43.6%. We need to get those things up. Tells me we need a striker, and it tells me we need to bring in someone who's a little bit more creative in midfield than what we actually have at the moment. So it has gone very, very well. In terms of the squad itself, we've had an average season, that's all you can say. We have 8 players who have performed very, very well, and that includes Ben Foster. Danny Rose you can discount because he has only made 2 appearances, and we can discount him from the list, so it really is 7. Quinner, who came in towards the end of the season and has performed very, very well. Felix Agu, who we transferred in the summer, has had a very good season. Suzuku, I would have expected as our best player to have had a very good season, although it does seem he's not able to play with any of the boys that we have partnering him in midfield. And Sarr, Hernandez and Dennis up front have also had fairly good seasons. And in terms of goals scored, we haven't scored many goals. This has been one of our problems. Ismaila Sarr is the top scorer with 11, and everybody else chipped in with 5 or 6 or 7. Nothing to write home about. In terms of assists, Emmanuel, Dennis and Sarr, as I would expect, were the top assisters with only 7 apiece, and Agu and Josh King and João Pedro with 4. We do have issues we need to solve, and hopefully we will solve those problems in the summer transfer window. And in terms of what's been happening on the pitch, when you were last here, it was Wolverhampton Wanderers. We beat them by 3-1. We then beat Aston Villa, Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final, and Chelsea. And it was looking good at that point, but we have fallen apart since. And we've had some terrible results. Brighton and West Ham were very, very poor results. But we did manage to steady things a little bit when we beat Norwich by 3-2 at home. But then we had this dreadful run of fixtures: Tottenham, Liverpool, Manchester United and Arsenal, one after the other, Wednesday, Saturday. And we wouldn't expect normally to get much from that, and we didn't, getting only 2 points from a possible 12. However, I thought things were going to recover when we had Newcastle and Southampton up next, but again it didn't happen for us, and we failed to win any of those 2 games, drawing 2-2 with Newcastle and a very poor 1-1 result against Southampton. But we still have a chance to finish in the top 10. And I feel very optimistic that we will do that. We need to play Brentford now in the final game of the season and say farewell to this season and look forward to the next. So let's go and kick some balls. And so the team for the final game of the season. We have Elliott in goal because of injuries to both our first and second choice goalkeepers. And Agu, Sierralta, Samir and Kamara will play at the back. Kayemba, Lusa and Susuku in midfield. Sarr, Dennis and Demirovic will play up front. And we do need to get a result here against Brentford. We have not been performing very well. We are 18th in the form table over the last 5 games, and we need to address that, and we need to tell them that we want to see a lot better. And we have faith in them, though, and get out there, make a difference. Let's win this game. Let's make it something to remember for the final game of the season. Let's send these fans home happy, and let's get a couple of goals on the board, and let's win against Brentford. And it is a very quiet start. The first 10 minutes have not produced a shot from either side, and it does seem to be very, very quiet. But we have had the first attack and the second, but nothing seems to have come from anything as yet. What I don't really want to do is to have another draw. I'd like to win this game, to finish the season on a high. And these boys need to do the business today. And here is Lusa, he's looking for a long ball over the top, but that's easily collected by the Brentford defence, and that is cleared away. But we should be able to claim that ball. Reece Williams gets his head to it, but it falls to Brentford, and Brentford are looking to bring the ball forward. They look the more likely, and I would not want to go behind at this point. We've been a lot of times we've been behind and we have come back, but I'd like to be dominant in this game. And Brentford have a chance, and Brentford have scored, and it's Christian Eriksen, and we are a goal behind. I felt it was going to come. And Elliott in goal. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. He flapped at it dreadfully. We've got to go behind. The worst possible thing that could happen. I think I'm just going to shout at the boys and demand more from them. Elliott made a dreadful mistake in goal there, and Eriksson has put Brentford a goal ahead. I'm not very happy with how things are going. We've had the better chances. We've not had the possession, but I don't expect us to. And I really don't want to finish the season on a low. We are looking a better team, and yet we still been unable to do anything in terms of getting on the scoreboard. Demirovic is having a very, very poor game. I think actually I may bring him off. That may be the solution to the problem. And we're going to bring on João Pedro, and hopefully he will do a better job than Demirovic has done. And I think I really need to tell them, you have the ability to go and do this, and go out there and do it. And hopefully now we can make something happen. And we have had more chances. We haven't dominated the possession. Perhaps we need to look at possession. We'll change the directness a little bit, see what happens, and see if we can't get a little bit more possession. But we do have a free kick. Loser fires in the free kick, and it has been put in. And I think it's Sirelta, the defensive central defender, has put it in. It is now Watford 1, Brentford 1. We're back in the game. The referee is checking for something. And please don't tell me it's been disallowed, but it has been awarded. We are back in the game. A lovely free kick from Lusa and Sirelta at the back post. I'm not sure why they were checking that. It was almost certainly onside by a long way, and we are back in this game. Now we need to go out there. Can we go out there and win it? We're still in 9th position. We're going to finish, I think, in 9th position. If we can beat Brentford here today, we might even get to 8th, which would be a really remarkable performance. But it is Brentford again, looking to break forward. And they are in the clear, and Buema is in the box. He has a chance, and he's going to score. It is now Watford 1, Brentford 2, and poor Elliott is having a nightmare in goal for us today. We have 2 goalkeepers, numbers 1 and 2, both long-term injuries. Elliott has a young kid. He's just been forced into the spotlight. And Bueno is a danger. We didn't pick him up, we didn't cover him, and we have deservedly gone behind. It's now Watford 1, Brentford 2. I'm going to berate the team. Well, we'll wait for this highlight before we do that. As it comes out to Suzuku, he finds a loser. Now, can we get a goal back here? And that's a good tackle. And it comes out to Agu. Agu with the cross into the box, and there's a header, and it clips the bar and goes over. I don't believe we deserve to win this game. We've had much the better chances. FM, I think, is just throwing its toys out of the pram. We should be winning this game. There's no reason why we should be losing this game. And there's a low cross into the box, and my word, they nearly scored an own goal, and we really don't want to see that. And it remains, and we're going to take Kayemba off. He hasn't had the greatest of games. We'll bring Vukovic, and Agu is tired, and so we'll bring Cathcart on and see if those little changes can't do something. Here is Suzuku, he finds Kayemba to Pedro. Pedro's looking for Sarr, but that's a poor ball. And it is a little disappointing to be losing this game today. I was hoping that we were going to beat Brentford. I think we're a better side than Brentford, but our run has been extremely poor of late, and that's why we're 18th in the form table. And we just cannot seem to get out of this poor run of form, as Brentford are looking to bring it forward again. And we could possibly even lose this by more. We haven't played very well today. Nobody has got very good ratings there, apart from Sarr. Sarr has a 7. He's the only one. And we are looking to try and bring it forward with Pedro. He finds Sarr. Sarr, now can he burst through? He's through on his own, and Sarr has fired it over the bar. It was easier to score than to miss, and that was a wasted opportunity and could have brought us back into the game. It remains 2-1 to Brentford, and I think the game is done. I really can't see us getting back into this game. It's been a poor second half of the season, and despite dominating this game, we just can't score. And here is Pedro, though. Pedro is through, and Pedro has made it 2-2. And have we salvaged something right at the death? And against the run of play, I think, we've managed to pull one back. We were the better side, but we never looked like scoring. They were comfortable at the back, but Pedro has managed to make it 2-2, and maybe we are going to get a point out of this game, and maybe we will finish in 9th place finally. We can't complain about that. We have been a very, very good side, especially defensively this year. We deserve to finish where we finished. It is another draw, and we have drawn by, and I'm going to say yes, I'm disappointed. We should have won that match. And we have, though, we have finished absolutely where I wouldn't expect us to be. And we have actually gone above West Ham and Southampton. Well, we were already there. We are actually now in 9th. We finished in 9th. It's a fantastic performance. And if West Ham drew with Arsenal, Southampton drew at Manchester United, so nothing happened in the table. And Liverpool have won the league, but we have finished 9th. It's been an absolutely amazing performance by these boys. I have work to do in the transfer window. We have issues we need to solve. If you are new to the channel, then why not subscribe, like, watch and comment. Help us to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause you can see scrolling above. And from a very happy Vicarage Road Stadium here in Watford, after season 1, where we have surpassed all expectation, we will leave you for now, and we will see you very soon for a roundup of what's happened in the transfer window and for again the first few games of the season 2. We will see you very soon.